What is up, guys? Zoo back here once again in No Man's Sky, and this is a video for new players or returning players. I'm going to be showing you things you may or may not know about that you can do in No Man's Sky. If you do know about them, awesome, but if you don't, this could be helpful to you. So let's get into it. Did you know that you get a massive freighter ship that you can summon in like this? So before we go up to the freighter, I wanted to show you guys this. So when you warp your freighter into a system that you're currently in, if you have this matter beam installed on your freighter, you can then access all the storage lockers on your freighter and just grab stuff from them. So it's basically like you can have you can have everything you own stored and access it from anywhere once you have that. So that's a very cool thing to get. We're going to take this ship. In case you didn't know, you can have up to 6 ships in this game, and there is a lot of different types of ships you can get. But you can own up to 6, and they will stay on your freighter. Now, these ships floating around my freighter, these are my fleet. And what I could do is send these ships out on missions and they just come back with loads of loot. When you first start doing this, your ships aren't going to be that powerful yet, so you might often have to come up and land on them and fix them. That's what so we just landed on one here. You can actually go inside these. They're pretty big. There's not much to do in them though, but you will have to come and repair these from time to time. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. You can have your own fleet of ships. And also, if you ever have your freighter in a system where like pirates attack you, your fleet will come help you, which is really cool. Okay, now here we are landed on my freighter. So this is where you keep your 6 ships. Now, you can have 6 if you want. I have 4 right now. If you have open spaces like this, other ships will just come and land here. And sometimes, it's a good way to find cool ships that you might want to buy. They'll just land right on your freighter. But if you have 6 ships, that won't happen. So there's that. So let's go up to the command room here. So these are fleet control rooms. That's one of the ships that I have sent out on mission that's back. I could go there and I could see how it did and collect all the loot it got. It's going to tell me it went that many light years and it found all this stuff, and these can get you a lot of money and a lot of cool things you need for crafting if you're into that. So that's how those missions work. This is the guy who you set them off from. He'll have new missions you could send the fleet out on every day, but they can take a while depending on your freighter and the upgrades you have on the freighter. This shortens the missions quite a bit. In the beginning, they could take up to 27 hours, some of them. Now, usually they finish in a few hours for me. Then you got your captain up here. He doesn't do much. You can use him if you want. If you talk to him, he gives you the option to transfer your items from your ship. Like if you had a bunch of stuff in your ship, you could transfer it to the freighter with him. Now, freighters are pretty cool because you can build on your freighter. Now, it's not identical to building on a planet because it doesn't give you the same pieces. You have different pieces you can use on the freighter. Some of them are the same as you could use on a regular base, but some of them just won't be there. So you have like these freighter rooms, that you could build on here. And this is just a little like sleeping quarters I made. But yeah, you could build on your freighter. So like this room, it's pretty empty. But let's say I wanted this to go back further. Just boom. So yeah, you could build on your freighter. If you wanted, you could have an entirely mobile base. You could have everything you need on your freighter for the most part, depending on how you wanted to play. And in case you didn't know, you can only have one freighter. Freighters, just like with ships, range from C class to S class, S being the best. This is an S class freighter. They're hard to get though, I'm not gonna lie. You're definitely gonna have to sink some hours, possibly over 20 or 24 even. And here we are at the space station. Now you're gonna find these in most star systems you visit, and for the most part they're all pretty identical. The main differences are gonna be what they sell and what they buy, how much they charge for it. So aside from buying and selling, you got this guy here. Now this guy, there'll be one of these at every one of these space stations, and he has missions that you could do, and a lot of them, you know, some of them have good rewards. Neural ducts sell for pretty good. You can get, you know, some good nanites here. But when you first start doing these missions, you see how this has like a 1 next to it? You need to rank up before you can unlock all these missions. If you go to your milestones, you could see the different guilds here: the Merchants Guild, the Mercenaries Guild, and the Explorers Guild. And those missions all rank these up. Now, I have them ranked to the max. And the same goes with the life forms. So, like, if I am doing missions for him, I'm going to get some status with the Viking. And then you can come to this guy after you've done some missions, and he just gives you money. But the missions are useful, and I suggest doing them because not only do you get rewarded for them and they're not that hard, but you can just come to that guy, grab every mission he has, go out and do them, and you'll probably end up with a lot of units and a lot of nanites. So I think for that reason, and they're kind of fun to do, so it's a good thing to do after you've kind of finished the story content. Now this cartographer guy, what's his story? Well, you want to exchange maps with him, and he trades you for navigation data. These ones will take you to distress signals, so possibly crash ships, that kind of thing. This takes you to alien structures, could be a ruin, something like that, maybe a portal. Commercial will help you find those new archive buildings or maybe trading posts, and then you got secret, which will help you find, you know, those other buildings on planets where you have to go in and play a little mini game on a terminal. So that's what goes on this side. You can also go into the back here and get some nanites usually. Sometimes there's other stuff. Now let's do the left side of the space stations. Now this scrap dealer, he's a newer addition to the game, and his use is he sells the receivers to find derelict freighters, and those look like this, these emergency broadcast receivers. And what these do is allow you to find a derelict freighter in space, which is basically like a space dungeon that you run through. And you can get some really good loot on there, and you can also get this tainted metal, which is a new type of currency that is used with this guy. As you can see, the things he sells here, he wants tainted metal for him. Okay, over here, this machine scraps ships. So basically destroys the ship, gives you money, and gives you some modules back when you scrap a ship. This is good to do when you find ships on planets, like crashed ships, and you claim them. Just repair them enough to fly them to a space station and scrap them. It could be really lucrative, especially early on in the game, to scrap ships. And that's going to do it for this one, guys. I wanted to keep it kind of short. I didn't want to get too long. I actually recorded a lot more footage, but I cut a lot of it out. So we'll get to that in future beginner videos. If there's something specific you're not understanding in the game or you want me to do a video on, leave a comment below, and I'd be happy to do that for you. And listen, if this video, if you learned something from it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, you can definitely give it a thumbs down and tell me what I could do better next time. And thank you to all the new subscribers. You guys have really been showing a lot of love for the channel, and I appreciate it so much. We're approaching the 150 mark, I think. 150 subscribers, which blows my mind. Maybe we could hit 200. But I like making these videos for you guys, so I'm going to keep doing more beginner, new player type of content if you want me to. But yeah, like I said, if there's anything specific you want to know, leave it in a comment and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.